Hey there, welcome back to another video. This time around, it is yet another DVD and Blu-ray update. If you hear anything in the background, it's because I have a fan on. It's a little bit hot in here, especially around the start of the summer months. So I got a little bit of some airflow coming in. I just want to apologize in advance for anyone that hears it, especially if they're using headphones. But anyway, normally I do these videos as a part of the vlog series, but uh, I've gotten quite a few things and I decided to just make it its own video. Also, I have a couple gifts that were sent to me by some subscribers, so I wanted to have a video where I could show the gifts and also show my appreciation. So I'm going to get to that soon enough, but I want to definitely let you know about this new hat. I got this new hat from eBay. It's not technically new. It is from a company called Mishka, I think. I don't know how to say their name. They did a limited run of Robocop merchandise, clothing, hats to coincide with the release of the 2014 remake. And I didn't really have the funds at the time to really be able to spend the high price tag on some of the hats that were available. And by the time I did have the money, they were already out of stock. So I've been looking for this particular hat for quite a while now. The only other one that I was interested in is the one that's even harder to find that I rarely ever see, which has the Robocop logo on it. But it's a fitted hat, so I'd have to find the one that is the exact fit, because it's not one of those one size fits all deals. But I've been wanting to get an officially licensed Robocop hat, and here we go. There we go. You're going to be seeing this quite a bit in a lot of my upcoming videos, so definitely get used to seeing this face and this visor. But anyway, let's get to the stuff that was sent to me. So, first thing I got is some items from Gonzalo. Gonzalo, he sent me a message on YouTube, asked me about whether or not I had an address for him to send things to me. We exchanged contact information, and he surprised me fairly recently with this package that included these two things. So we have Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday, the official movie magazine from Fangoria. This is really, really cool. I am a big fan of this film, and I did not know that there was an official movie magazine. So this is definitely a great addition to my collection. So much appreciated. And any gift is appreciated, to be honest. I wanted to show my appreciation for the gifts and for just the act of sending me anything. So, but yeah, Jason Goes to Hell, Final Friday, official movie magazine. There's a little advertisement for a model kit. And then he also sent me the first issue of Jason vs. Leatherface, which I do not have any of the issues of this, so thanks. I've heard of this comic series. I've never actually read it, though. I know that it's from Topps Comics, which, yes, for a certain time in the 90s, Topps made comics. They weren't just a card company. They decided to make some comics, and Jason vs. Leatherface is one of them. They also did, I think, Bram Stoker's Dracula. I think they did an adaptation of that. I think they did some other ones, but it wasn't very long-lived. It was a very short-lived thing for Topps Comics. I like the disclaimer here that says suggested for demented readers. I think that's pretty funny. So yeah, Jason vs. Leatherface. So thank you so much, Gonzalo, for the kindness and for the gifts and for your support. And thank you for your support. Whether it's kind words in the comment section, gifts that you send me, each one of them, every one of them means a lot to me, and I greatly appreciate it. So before I get into the next set of gifts, I want to talk about some CD soundtracks that I picked up fairly recently. We got Over the Top, the official motion picture soundtrack. Love this soundtrack. One of my all-time favorites. Great movie too. And speaking of Stallone, I also got Cobra, the official movie soundtrack for Cobra. This one has a lot of good tracks on here too. Also has Skyline by Sylvester LeVay, which is part of a theme that either was unused or was in a deleted scene, because you don't really hear much of it in the movie itself. And then I also got Monster Mania, which is music from the classic Godzilla films. This is a release of like 22 different tracks from different Godzilla films, different portions of the score. They are newly composed, at least for the time, by Randy Miller and his orchestra. So this isn't actually the official release of these scores, but which is why there probably is no Godzilla on the cover. But I thought it was still a cool, fun little thing to add to the collection. So the next set of gifts is actually from a YouTuber and subscriber named Brandon. So he sent me some stuff in the past, and I'm gonna make sure I got his name right so I'm not messing up. But I do believe it is Brandon. Yeah, I think it is Brandon. So Brandon decided to send me some stuff out of the blue, and so he sent me some VHS. I'll keep these for the collection, and just because they were gifts, but a lot of these I already have on DVD. So Everybody's All American with Dennis Quaid, Fear.com, which I just reviewed on my channel. Mr. Naney with Hulk Hogan, which I have on DVD. Ransom with Mel Gibson, which I actually watched fairly recently for the first time, and I really, really liked it. Though I'll be doing a review of that sometime. And The Cave. So yeah, thanks for the VHS. And he also sent me some DVDs and some Blu-rays. Really just one Blu-ray. So he sent me Found Footage 3D, which I've never heard of. I guess it's a found footage movie that's in 3D. So we got Found Footage 3D sent to me as a gift. And then he also sent me the Da Vinci Code. It's a full screen release. I'm not super big on full screen releases, but it's the thought that counts. Tremors 5 Bloodline for the Tremors collection. I do not have this one. Another full screen DVD. Sorry, just the sight of full screen, I guess, made my hands stop working. Black Dahlia. This one's in widescreen though. Bad Lieutenant. Port Call of New Orleans. He also sent me American Gangster and WWE DVD, Clash of Champions from 2019. Pay-per-view. So yeah, thank you for the gifts. Much appreciated. And now we're getting into the stuff that I picked up. I'm going to start with DVDs, then I'm going to go to Blu-rays. So we have a Shudder exclusive, The Furies. I've heard some really good things about this, so I wanted to pick it up. I saw it at Walmart. It was pretty cheap, so I decided why not. Furies. I got The State, the complete series for my sketch comedy collection. I've actually seen this before. I remember liking it alright. I thought it was pretty witty. Not every sketch really worked for me. Some of them were a little bit too out there for me. But there were still some that had some genuine chuckles. It definitely has the kind of same sort of weirdo sensibility as Liquid Television. So that I definitely appreciate because I'm a big fan of that show. But yeah, The State, the complete series. The only thing that's not here is the original music, which apparently is rescored and redone to be as close to the actual thing as it could. But this is the closest you're going to get to an official version of the series. With a lot of MTV shows that they did with Paramount, a lot of stuff was cut. But for as far as I know, that's uncut. The only difference is the music tracks and stuff like that. Speaking of sketch comedy, got some sketch comedy from across the pond in French and Saunders, the complete series. I really like Jennifer French and Jennifer Saunders and Dawn French. God damn it, fuck. But I really do like those two. I think they're a great pair. I've been a fan of Jennifer Saunders ever since her work in Absolutely Fabulous. And I remember watching French and Saunders Goes to the Movies. I used to rent that on DVD from the local library, and I got a kick out of it. So this is the complete series 1 through 6. It does not include the specials, but for the Christmas specials, but that's fine. This is also region locked, so unless you have a region free player, you are not going to be able to watch it, but I do, so I decided to get it. Reminds me, speaking of AbFab, I need to get my hands on that series as well. Got this because it was cheap, and I've actually honestly wanted this, despite the fact that it's probably pretty shitty in terms of quality. Mill Creek, a box set, Sci-Fi Invasion. The reason why I wanted this is because there are films on here that are out of print and have never gotten official releases, and it's a good way to get like a ton of sci-fi movies like super cheap, like Future Hunters with Robert Patrick, Hyper Sapien, People from Another Star, Rotor, which I know has a Blu-ray, but I don't really care about watching that movie in HD. Star Knight, Robo Vampire, Hands of Steel, Galaxina. So, and yes, it's one of those releases that has those horrible like sleeves, but it was super cheap and it has like 50 movies, so I thought why not? It was like $10 for 50 movies, so for the collection I figured sure. Got this for the WWE DVD collection and for my Randy Savage collection. Ooh yeah. This is Randy Savage's unreleased, the unseen matches of the Macho Man Randy Savage. So yeah, this is a pretty lazy release from WWE. They just stack the discs on top of each other, but it's still got some extra matches and stuff like that weren't on the previous Macho Man releases, which I have the other two. I got this because I'm curious about this one because it's directed by the Duffer Brothers, who did Stranger Things. This is what they did before Stranger Things. They did this film called Hidden with Alexander Skarsgård and Andrea Riseborough. So, Hidden. And I got this for the anthology collection, Chillers, the complete 12-part anthology series. Before Mill Creek, I believe they did release this, or some other company did, and they were like not really the best quality, and you weren't able to get the complete series in one set. I believe the picture quality on this particular release is a bit better, and it has the complete series all in one set. Versus before, it was just multiple DVDs. I actually have one of them, which I can. Is it over? If it's over somewhere, I can get it without being. Yeah, I actually do have it. And it's. I don't think it's from Mill Creek. It's from Platinum. Yeah. It's from Platinum Home Entertainment, and not the best transfers. But this is the previous release. These are the previous releases of Chillers that are out there. I think this one has the first 4 episodes. I think. Or it might just have 4 random episodes. But yeah, this is Chillers from the Platinum Home Entertainment release. And this is the newer release from Mill Creek. I got this for the Monster Movie collection and also for just to see Rick Baker's effects I've heard about this movie. I've never seen it though. Octoman. I've heard it's pretty bad, but I got a good deal on it. It also has some features on it, as well as another movie. It has another movie the director did called The Cremators. So this disc has 2 movies on it and some features, and I was like, sure, why not? Octoman. I got a double feature of Blackula and Scream. Blackula Scream. The Blu-ray by Shout Factory, Scream Factory, is out of print, and I got a good deal on this DVD set. And honestly, the picture quality isn't that bad. So I've never seen either film, but so I thought, sure, why not, for the collection. And then I also got Planet of the Vampires for the collection. I've always liked this Midnight Meat Movies cover for this particular release, and picture quality's all right. With modern TVs, they got to mess around with the aspect ratio, kind of zoom things in, but it's not that bad. So that's it for the DVDs. This is just a random slew of Blu-rays coming up. So here we have Deadline from Vinegar Syndrome. I was really looking forward to this release. Vinegar Syndrome once again creates some just absolutely amazing, spectacular, gorgeous-looking slipcovers. This film had never been released on DVD or Blu-ray in any format until recently. So this one, it's remastered, best quality that has ever been seen with this particular movie. I have it on VHS and storage, and I also have it on beta, but now I have it on Blu-ray, which is honestly the better. It's a much better transfer. It's the best transfer out there for the film, bar none. These are some. So I got Severin's release of Bloody Birthday. It's really cheap. Got it from Hamilton Books. Got a lot of good stuff from Hamilton recently. They had a really good sale. Not necessarily sale. They don't really have sales. What they have is they have titles that are marked down. So they had a lot of selection of titles that were marked down. This is one of them. I know Arrow did a release, but I don't have the film on Blu-ray, and it was a good deal. So specifically, what Hamilton had was like a ton of Code Red Blu-rays. I'm not really big into Code Red as a company. I think Bill Olsen is a douchebag. I don't like DeFalco either. Juggalo Mickey Rourke and his Dark Force Entertainment shenanigans. I don't care for that either, but there are some titles that they've done that I admittedly am kind of curious about. And by getting them through Hamilton, I'm not really supporting Code Red, so I'm supporting Hamilton Book. So I got The Terror Within 2. I got the first film. It's in a double feature, which is going to be coming just before my birthday in May, that I ordered off of Amazon a while back. But it's just one of those where Amazon's having delays. I also have some more other stuff that I ordered that's on its way, so you'll see that in another update later. But I was got another it's not really a sequel, but they call it that. Hills of Eyes 3, Mind Ripper. I don't know why it's called the Hills of Eyes 3. I really don't. Has no relation to the Hills of Eyes in any way whatsoever. It's just Mind Ripper. But both of these are remastered in 2K. Yeah, or this is an HD remaster of the sequel. I remember this being okay. I like the first one more, but I remember it being all right. And I actually haven't seen Mind Ripper. This is remastered in 2K. Speaking of remastered, I got The Stand. Pretty fitting series right now, especially the opening with Don't Fear the Reaper. But when I heard it was getting restored and it was getting released on Blu-ray, I definitely want to get my hands on it because I really like this series. I think it's a great miniseries. Also got Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro. Got a good deal on that one. Flash Gordon. Flash! Savior of the universe! Really big fan of Flash Gordon. Love this movie. Did not have it on Blu-ray. Definitely wanted to get my hands on it. Got a good deal on it. Used. And still got a bunch, folks. Killer. Now this is a independent film by director Tony Elwood. It's a movie that apparently got a little bit of a release on VHS. The director went around shopping the film, selling it in person to rental stores. It gained a little bit of a cult following. It was featured on Joe Bob Briggs's Monster Vision show one time. Edited, of course. And I got a little bit more of a cult following after that. So the director found the print of the film recently, I think like a couple years ago, and he remastered it the best he could and did a few extra things and released this Blu-ray. Yeah, I saw the trailer for it on the internet. I thought it looked pretty decent for a independent film, and so I wanted to get my hands on it. This company, they really did a good job, because not only is this a pretty professional looking Blu-ray, despite the fact that it's technically, it's just it's not a big budget production by any means, but they definitely put their effort into it. It has features, it's got outtakes, it's got the making of Killer with an interview with the writer and the director, some behind the scenes stuff, and originally I ordered this and I didn't get it, and I completely forgot that I had ordered it, and I didn't get it until like and it was something I didn't even remember until months later, but I remembered it, let the guy know in an email. It was super nice, super cordial, and sent me another release in first class, which much appreciated. So if it sounds interesting to you, I recommend getting this Blu-ray. Support the filmmaker, because I think the profits go directly to him or the rights holders and stuff like that. So I got Runaway on Blu-ray, really underrated Tom Selleck film. Really enjoy this one. Finally gets a Blu-ray release. This is sadly though another region locked UK release, which honestly, for people who don't have region free players, it sucks. But 101 Films do some pretty good work, and it's got a decent transfer, and definitely better than the DVD. The rest of these are from a source that shall not be named, but you can get a little more information if you go to Instagram and you search Dark Farce, or I think it's Dork Farce. Dork Farce Entertainment on Instagram, because it's a little bit of a ploy on Dark Force Entertainment. And this is a source I've talked about before in other videos. I made another purchase with this guy recently, and it was just absolutely fantastic. A little bit of delay, but more than made up for it again, like he always does, with some extra stuff, some extra goodies. So here we have some more work from the bootleg master, because that's honestly what I like to call him. He's the bootleg master, because he makes the best bootlegs you will ever see. He puts so much time, effort, and energy into these releases. His releases rival that of actual official companies, or on par with them. This is not your average everyday bootleg. So we got Strangeland, which has 2 different versions of the film, plus a lot of the features that were ported over from the DVD. We have The Ritual, which I've heard decent things about, but I haven't actually gotten around to seeing. Bright Will Smith, which I really liked. Speaking of Netflix movies that came out directly to Netflix, I saw Six Underground recently. I had a lot of fun with it. Vintage Bayhem at its finest. I will talk more about that in the future, but I do recommend it if you like big, loud, dumb action movies and you're just in the mood for sitting down and watching things blow up. Definitely put on Six Underground. So I got another Netflix exclusive, The Babysitter, with Samara Weaving. I heard some good things about it, and I like her. Double feature, Creep and Creep 2. I've never seen these. I've heard of them, though. We got Never Going Back. Looked like a fun comedy. The Jerky Boys, the movie. I saw this a long time ago. I remember it being average or below average. I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen it. But this does include the Jerky Boys VHS. on here, the uncut, uncensored version as a feature, so that's worth it. Uh, I remember the Jerky Boys being better as just a little phone call pranks than a movie, but I'll definitely take it for the collection. We got Pump Up the Volume with Christian Slater. Heard a lot of good things about it. Never seen it. We got Cool World because the DVD's out of print and it was a lot cheaper for me to get this, and it honestly is a pretty good looking transfer for the Ralph Bakshi collection. And Toys of Robin Williams, which I absolutely love. I love this movie, and this is a great release. It looks fantastic. It really does. I was hoping that there would be some sort of HD version of this. There was. This guy's so great that I actually requested him a while back to do this, and he did it for me. And it's just one of those things where I have a good relationship with this guy, the bootleg master, and I definitely do recommend you check him out on Instagram and show him some love. But anyway, that's my bootlegs. I also got some more official stuff. I got another stack after this, so bear with me. So we got Hercules, Shout Factory release, Guilty Pleasure of Mine, Lou Ferrigno, Fighting a Bear, Throwing It into Outer Space, Adventures of Hercules 2. I actually showed this before. Hamilton. It was a Hamilton book purchase, but I wanted to show it with Hercules. Just because. We got Resident Evil, the complete collection. This is a box set. It says it's not region locked, even though it has the 18 logo on it. I got it for a really good deal. It was like really cheap, and I was like, sure, for the collection, and I don't have all of these. And for some reason, now my eye is watering. It's like, oh shit, you're talking about Resident Evil? Oh fuck, man. So I got Chappie for the collection. This is actually the Target release that has an exclusive, actually Best Buy release that has an exclusive bonus disc. It's not found anywhere else. And speaking of discs, I did get the Angry Beavers, a complete series, but when I got the package in the mail from FYE, the discs were fine, but the case was in shambles. The plastic was just inside was just busted everywhere, and it was one of those cheap made sets from Shout Factory where they had all these plastic, not necessarily sleeves, but it's the ones where you have multiple different discs. So they have these. It's similar to this, but like even worse. Although this is a little loose too. So it was something like that, but it was just really in really bad shape. So I took all the discs out and I put them in a separate holder, which is a bummer because I really like Angry Beavers, and it would have been nice to have the actual box to go with the series because that's what I ordered. But is what it is. Came in a box too, and it was it was packaged all right. So I must have just been damaged, period, like in the warehouse or something. So that's it for those. Now we get into some more. So we have VFW. Heard some good things about this one. I actually saw it for sale at Walmart for a pretty good price. Actually, go to your local Walmart, and if you want to get your hands on this, it's like $13. It's not bad. It's a good price. VFW. Yes, I got Rambo Last Blood in 4K for the collection. I kind of feel empty. My Rambo collection kind of feels empty right now, or it just doesn't feel complete. And as a completionist, I had to get it. Also, I haven't seen it yet, so I have it so I could show it on camera for better or worse whenever I get around to doing the Rambo films, which I would honestly like to do sometime. Not only because I love a good chunk of the Rambo movies, but at least for the first film, kind of do a little bit of my own kind of wake for Brian Dennehy. May Brian Dennehy rest in peace. Great actor, from all intents and purposes, what I've heard, a really nice guy. He passed away recently. I would suggest, off topic, but I would suggest if you want to honor his legacy and honor the man, go watch Last of the Finest, the 1990 film, which features Brian Dennehy, one of his most underrated and overlooked roles, in my opinion, and a legitimately good movie. So I would check that out. It's actually on Tubi for free. So these are a bunch more Code Red releases. We got Zader. This is actually the film Revenge of the Dead, but the Revenge of the Dead cover is misleading because this is closer to like Pet Sematary than anything else. Slower paced, not nearly as much going on, but for the collection, it looked kind of interesting. Nice bit of atmosphere. Got Blackout. I had this on DVD, but this has a new master, which is better than the full screen DVD that I had. It also has an interview with Robert Carradine. This is a kind of a disaster movie. Apparently, Shout Factory did this along with Code Red. When did they work together? And they definitely don't work together anymore. So, Blackout. I also got The Dark. I have the Blu-ray now, but I also had the DVD, but I wanted to get the Blu-ray because it has a new remaster of the film. Silly 70s monster fun, really. Has an audio commentary with the producer and the director, an on-camera interview with the composer, a vintage interview with the director. I also got Happy Hell Night. I've heard some interesting things about this. I've never actually seen it. And got the Blu-ray. Also got Panic, which looks like might be a decent Italian monster movie, or not really monster movie, but kind of a pandemic movie in some ways. The Being for the collection on Blu-ray, because I have the DVD, but this has a new remaster as well as a commentary track with the director. So that's it for those. And got some more Code Red releases over here. Just one more. Delirium, a Lamberto Bava film. And then I got some Arrow Blu-rays. Some of them I got from Arrow UK, but not directly from Arrow. I got them from another source, from a sale online. Speaking of Arrow, that is one of the things I'm waiting for. I did make an order of Arrow UK Blu-rays to fill out my collection. Arrow is having their flash sale right now. So I got Flowers in the Attic. This is the US Arrow video releases. The Initiation. Got The Loveless with Willem Dafoe, directed by Catherine Bigelow. This film, I swear, Willem Dafoe is just playing the same character that he played in Streets of Fire. This is like a Streets of Fire spin-off in a lot of ways, because Willem Dafoe is here playing the same character. But this came out before Streets of Fire, so it's a prequel. It's like a prequel to Streets of Fire. Like, if you've seen Streets of Fire and you've seen Willem Dafoe's character in that, it's exactly the same guy. Exactly the same character, same sort of setup. He's a biker, he's a tough guy, you know. And even on the tagline, they're going nowhere fast. If you've seen Streets of Fire, you know why that sounds familiar, because of the song Nowhere Fast. Children of the Corn, the Arrow release, because I didn't have it, and it has a new remaster of the film and some extra features. Apprentice to Murder with Donald Sutherland, Mia Sara. The Abominable Dr. Phibes for the Vincent Price collection. And then I also got Dr. Phibes Rises Again. Was it Dr. Phibes? Phibes? I might be butchering it. I might not be. Either way, they're fun Vincent Price movies. They're also some of my favorite Vincent Price horror films are the Dr. Phibes movies. Colobos. Scared Stiff. The Sender, It's not really the greatest film in the world, but it has some really good visuals, so that's why I wanted to get the Blu-ray. Horror Express, because I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I actually haven't seen it. So that's it for those. And we're nearing the end of the road. So I got the complete series of the Swamp Thing show from DC Universe that never got a fair shake because whether it was taxes or whatever it was, it got screwed over and was going to have more episodes, potentially more seasons, but never happened. Depends on what you hear. Like, I've heard it had to do with taxes. I heard it was Warner Brothers wanted to do a Swamp Thing movie, so they sabotaged it. I don't know what it is, but regardless, it sounds like a real bummer because from all intents and purposes, from what I've seen, Derek Mears is doing an absolutely fantastic job as Swamp Thing. Features some mind-blowing, amazing makeup effects and some good atmosphere. So I'm really looking forward to watching this. I'm probably going to wait to watch this, though, after I actually watch the whole 90s Swamp Thing series, since I actually do have the whole series on DVD. So yeah, Swamp Thing. I also got Drag Me to Hell. The reason why is this is a collector's edition from Scream Factory. I got it off Hamilton Book. It was really cheap. And I don't know. I kind of want to give this another shot. It's one of those movies honestly seen like 2 or 3 different times. And like I've been on the fence about it every single time. So it's one of those movies where it's a good addition to the collection, and it's just one of those films where I don't know. I really just want to see what's going on. Have the Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the remake, the 70s remake. I did not have this on Blu-ray, I only had the DVD. This has a new 2K remaster. Not a whole lot of extra stuff, but a little bit, plus it ports over the same features from the Legacy release. The main reason why I got this, though, is it's going out of print. There's a lot of Scream Factory, Shout Factory stuff that's going out of print recently because their rights deal with MGM is falling through. So I wanted to get my hands on this because it's probably going to be one of the best releases. And I was surprised. Deep Discount actually gave me one with the slipcover. So cool. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I do also like the remake from 1993. I think it's 93. Body Snatchers. That one is actually on its way. So that'll be in a different video. Got Roadhouse Shout Select release because it's jam-packed with features. It's got a whole second disc of features. And it's got a new 2K scan of the film. Big fan of this. Really enjoyable, fun movie. One of Patrick Swayze's best. And this is another title that's going out of print. So I definitely want to get my hands on it before the prices got too insane. So we have Ginger Snaps. I actually really like this one. Only had the DVD. So I decided to get the Blu-ray. I don't think it has a new transfer, but it's better than the DVD that I have. Not a whole lot in terms of features, but enough. And in terms of the sequels, I only really like the prequel, which is the third one. But it's a prequel, so it's technically not a third movie. But I already have that on DVD. I think it's called Ginger Snaps Back. Or is it Ginger Snaps Again or something? I don't know. It's something in the beginning. Is that what it's called? Ginger Snaps Back, the beginning? Either way, I do like the prequel. I hated the sequel, though. I really didn't like it. It just shat on a lot of the characters in this one, so I really wasn't a fan of the sequel. Got Lake Placid, because I only had the DVD for the collection. The Howling, because I actually don't mind the film, and I only had the DVD. Cherry Falls, another one I like, but I don't love. I really don't love. I really do not care for how they handle Michael Bihn's character. I think it's just bullshit, unnecessary, and lame. But there's some other good stuff in here, and it has a genuinely nice concept. And I only had a DVD of the film. Cut. Heard a lot of interesting things about this one. Good cast. Really intriguing premise. where in 1985, the cast and crew of the horror flick Hot Blooded are learning firsthand what it means to be stalked by a masked killer. When the director is viciously murdered on set, the production is shut down and the film is locked away. But every time the footage is screened, somebody dies. So then something happens, they start screening it again, and then we got to figure out what's going on, and da 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 da. But this is a release from Umbrella Home Entertainment. It is region locked, so keep that in mind. Although, I don't know, I actually haven't tested it, so it might not be. Sometimes these releases say region B, but they actually aren't. So I'll find out soon enough. But this is a good release. It's probably the best release of the film out there. It's got a short film the director did. It's got a 4K restoration of the film. It's got a commentary. Got some interviews. And then I got the Wolf Cop Wolf Pack. Because I only had the first one on Blu-ray. And I didn't have the second one at all. And I really enjoyed Wolf Cop, so I wanted to get the Blu-ray. And for some reason, the Blu-ray by itself is like way higher price nowadays and expensive. So it was actually a better deal for me to get the Blu-ray. So with that, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's a pretty lengthy update, but I hope you enjoyed it regardless. And as always, I'll see you later. See ya.